There's something about uncertainty that shakes my faith to it.
10 years of sharing the peace of Christ. Shalom World, God's own channel.
Laudetur Jesus Christus, praised be Jesus Christ. Welcome to this live broadcast of Pope Francis's Angelus this Friday, the 1st of November, All Saints' Day. On behalf of all of my colleagues here at the Vatican Dicastery for Communication, a very warm welcome. And that is whether you are joining us through our Vatican Media app or via our YouTube channel or Facebook, or of course via any local or diocesan radio station. Welcome also to our partner stations and all of you who are following through those, and these include EWTN Television, Catholic Faith Network in America, Shalom World Television, Catholic Television, and Luminous Radio India. And, of course, a most warm welcome goes to those of you joining through our dedicated American Sign Language broadcast, made possible with the help of our friends at Deaf Catholic Youth Initiative for the Americas. My name is Francesca Merlo, and it will be my pleasure to provide you with the English language translation and commentary of today's event. So, of course, usually Pope Francis' Angelus takes place on Sunday, but today is, as I mentioned, All Saints' Day, which is a day commemorating all of the saints of the Church, both known and unknown, who have attained heaven. All Saints' Day is celebrated today on the 1st of November in the Western churches, and on the first Sunday after Pentecost in the Eastern churches. It is part of the 3-day Triduum dedicated to remembering the dead, beginning with Halloween on the 31st of October, which is the eve of All Saints' Day, today, the 1st of November, and All Souls' Day, which is celebrated tomorrow on the 2nd of November. So in just a few moments at 12 p.m. Rome time, Pope Francis will be appearing at the window of the Apostolic Palace, and for those of you who can see images on a television screen, that is the window that the camera is zooming into now. He will be giving a catechesis, for which I will be providing a simultaneous English translation. After the catechesis, he will recite the Marian prayer, along with all of the faithful in the square and along with all of you at home. And after that, he usually greets some of the groups present and makes some appeals. Usually these appeals are for peace, but we will see that later on. Now, as you can hear from the crowd, or as you can see from the images, Pope Francis has just appeared at the window, and we should very shortly be hearing what he has to say.
Buongiorno e buona festa.
Dear brothers and sisters, good morning and happy feast day.
Oggi, solennità di tutti i santi, nel Vangelo Gesù proclama
Today, Solemnity of All Saints. In the Gospel, Jesus proclaims the Beatitudes, the Christian's identity card. The Beatitudes are a Christian identity card and the way of holiness. Jesus shows us a path, the path of love, which he himself took first by making himself man, and which for us is both a gift from God and our response. Gift and response. It is a gift from God because, as St. Paul says, it is He who sanctifies. And this is why the Lord is the first we ask to make us holy, to make our hearts similar to His. With His grace He heals us and frees us from all that prevents us from loving as He loves us, so that in us, as blessed Carlo Acutis used to say, there may always be less of me to make room for God.
La nostra risposta. Il Padre dei Cieli, infatti,
and this leads us to the second point, our response. The Father of Heaven indeed offers us His holiness, but He does not impose it. He sows it in us. He makes us taste its flavor and see its beauty. But then He awaits and respects our yes. He leaves us the freedom of following His good inspirations, of letting ourselves be involved in His plans, of making His sentiments ours, putting ourselves, as He taught us, in the service of others, with an ever more universal charity, open and addressed to the entire world.
Anche nel nostro tempo, pensiamo ad esempio a San Massimiliano
We see all of this in the life of the saints, even in our time. Think, for example, of Saint Maximilian Kolbe, who in Auschwitz asked to take the place of a father of a family condemned to death. Or of Saint Teresa of Calcutta, who spent her existence in the service of the poorest of the poor. Or of Bishop Saint Oscar Romero, who was murdered at the altar for having defended the rights of the last against the abuse of their oppressors. In them, as in many other saints, those we venerate on the altars and those whom I like to call next-door saints, with whom we live every day, hidden, moving forward their Christian life. Brothers and sisters, how much sanctity in our lives. Poor, meek, merciful, hungry and thirsty for justice, workers for peace. They are people filled with God, incapable of remaining indifferent to the needs of their neighbor, witnesses of shining paths possible for us too.
Domandiamoci adesso, io chiedo a Dio nella preghiera il dono di una vita santa?
Let us ask ourselves then, do I ask God in prayer for the gift of a holy life? Do I let myself be guided by the good impulses that His Spirit inspires in me? And do I commit myself personally to practicing the Beatitudes of the Gospel in the environments in which I live? May Mary, Queen of all saints, help us to make our lives a path of holiness.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ecce ancilla Domini.
Fiat mi secundum verbum tuum.
Ave Maria, grazia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Et verbum caro factum est.
Et habitavit in nobis.
Ave Maria, grazia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ora pro nobis, Santa Dei Gentilis.
Udini e ficiamur promissionibus Christi.
Grazie a Tua, anquesum, Domine, mentibus nostris infunde, che Angelo Annunziante, Christi Fili Tui, incarnazione coniovimo, per passione eius et crucem, a resurrezione gloriam perducamur. Per Christum Dominum nostrum.
Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Pro fidelibus defuntis, requiem aeterna dona eis Domine.
Et lux perpetua luce Dei.
Requiescant in pace.
Amen.
Sit nomen Domini benedictum.
Ex hoc nunc et usque in saecula.
Aiutorium nostrum in nomine Domini.
Qui fecit caelum et terra.
Benedicat vos, omnipotens Deus, Pater, et Filius, et Spiritus Sanctus.
Amen.
Cari fratelli e sorelle,
Dear brothers and sisters,
esprimo la mia
I
vicinanza
express
al
my
popolo del
closeness
Chad,
to the people of Chad,
le famiglie delle
in
vittime
particular the
del
families
attentato
of the victims of the terrible terror attack of a few days ago.
come pure a quanti sono stati colpiti dalle
I
alluvioni.
also express my closeness to
E
those
a
who
proposito di
have
queste
been
catastrofi ambientali,
struck
preghiamo
by
per le popolazioni
flooding.
della penisola iberica,
Pope
specialmente
Francis is
della
praying
comunità valenciana,
for the flooding in Spain, especially for the communities in Valencia, which are suffering
e per tutte le famiglie
terrible
lanciate.
flooding.
Il Signore sostenga chi soffre
May
e chi
the Lord
porta soccorso.
support all those who suffer
La
and
nostra
those
vicinanza
who bring
al
aid.
popolo di Valencia.
Our closeness to the people of Valencia.
Saluto con affetto tutti voi pellegrini di vari paesi,
I
famiglie,
greet all of the
gruppi
pilgrims
parrocchiali,
from various countries,
associazioni scolaresche, in particolare i fedeli
school organizations,
provenienti da Rignac.
and the faithful who are from
E
Rignac.
saluto i partecipanti alla Corsa dei Santi,
And I also greet all of those taking part in the Corsa dei Santi, the Run of the Saints,
organizzata
organized
dalla Fondazione Missione Don Bosco.
by the Don Bosco Missionary
Cari amici,
Foundation. Dear
Anche
friends,
quest'anno ci ricordate
this
che la
year
vita
too,
cristiana è una corsa.
you remind us that Christian life is a race,
corsa di un cuore che ama.
the race of a heart that
Grazie del vostro
loves.
sostegno alla costruzione di un centro sportivo
And thank
in
you
Ucraina,
for your support and your aid in the building of a sports center in Ukraine.
per la martoriata
We
Ucraina.
must pray for tormented Ukraine.
Preghiamo per la
We
Palestina,
must pray for
Israele,
Palestine,
Libano,
Israel,
Myanmar, Sud
Lebanon,
Sudan,
Myanmar, South
che
Sudan,
soffrono per le
and
guerre.
all of the people who suffer from war.
Fratelli e sorelle,
Brothers
la
and
guerra
sisters,
sempre
war
è una
is
sconfitta,
always a
sempre,
defeat, always,
ed è ignobile,
and it is
perché è il
ignoble.
trionfo della mensogna, della
It is the
falsità.
triumph of
Si cerca il
lies
massimo interesse
and
per
falseness.
sé e il massimo danno per l'avversario,
It is about
conquistando vite
self-interest
umane, ambiente,
and damage to
infrastrutture,
those around us.
tutto mascherato di menzogne.
It is all masked in lies.
E soffrono gli innocenti.
And innocent people suffer.
Penso alle 153 donne, bambini
I think of the 153 women and children
massacrati
massacred
giorni
a few
scorsi
days ago
a Gaza.
in Gaza.
Domani sarà l'annuale commemorazione di tutti i fedeli defunti.
Tomorrow we
Chi può in questi giorni va a
celebrate
pregare sulla
the
tomba dei
lives of
propri
all of
cari. Anche
those
io
who have
domani
died. Please,
andrò
those who can, go and pray at the tombs of your
celebrare
loved
la
ones.
messa nel cimitero Laurettino
And
di
tomorrow
Roma.
I will celebrate Mass at the Laurentino Cemetery.
L'Eucaristia è la più
Let us not forget
grande e la
that
più
the
efficace
Eucharist is
preghiera
the
per le anime dei defunti.
is the most effective prayer for the souls of the dead. I wish you all a good feast day in the company of the saints. I greet you all. I greet the young people of the Immacolata. And please do not forget to pray for me.
Buona festa.
Happy feast day. Enjoy your lunch and arrivederci. See you soon. And that brings us to the end of this live broadcast of Pope Francis's Angelus address this Friday, the 1st of November, All Saints' Day. So whether you joined us through our Vatican Media app, or via our YouTube channel or Facebook, or via any local or diocesan radio station, or through one of our partner stations, EWTV, EWTN Television, Catholic Faith Network in America, Shalom World Television, Catholic Television, Luminous Radio India. To all of you, thank you, and thank you to those of you who joined through our dedicated American Sign Language broadcast. My name is Francesca Merlo, and it has been my pleasure being with you today. So until next time, Laudetur Jesus Christus, praised be Jesus Christ.
"10 years of sharing the peace of Christ." Shalom World, God's own channel. Every story starts with a word. A word that encompasses the story itself. A word that enhances the passion behind it. For us, that word is grateful.